Okay, I will. Welcome to Recovery Dharma. My name is Josh. I'm one of the facilitators here at Spokane Sangha Soul Center. Um, Before I get going, I will just make the announcement that this portion of our meeting is recorded, and all these recordings are put up by Lo on your favorite your favorite sites, YouTube and podcasts, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Only the meditation portion is recorded, and then as soon as I'm finished, the recording's turned off. I'm the only person recorded; nobody else is shown, and we do take everybody's confidentiality very seriously and with respect. So, with that, welcome. Um, if anybody is new here and unfamiliar, what we do here at Soul Center is that Julia gives us monthly topics to explore. Um, and this year she has gone ahead and planned out our whole year for us month by month. We're starting at square one with January with the first noble truth. And um, if anybody doesn't know what the first noble truth is in Buddhist practice, it's that there is suffering. Suffering exists. Julia has reframed the Four Noble Truths, and you can see that on the website, to say for the first noble truth that discomfort exists, and takes it a little bit a notch down, one or two. When we hear suffering, or when I hear suffering, I think of things that are much worse than day-to-day discomfort. Um, and yesterday, one of the Sangha members actually brought forth in the sharing portion about, are we talking about suffering or discomfort? And that really kind of got my wheels spinning, because aren't they the same, or are they different? I I equate them, and obviously the discomfort spectrum goes to intolerable grief, unbelievable sadness, pain, to, I hate flossing my teeth. And when I'm flossing my teeth, I'm suffering. But I definitely take that over, getting punched in the mouth. It's uh, the degrees of suffering. And it also got me thinking about suffering with intention. Um, like flossing my teeth. I'm old enough to understand the value of good dental hygiene, so I do it. Um, and I I'm willing to make that sacrifice to take on that amount of suffering because of the benefits. And then looking at other things, do have to remind myself often that this is a recovery program, and I'm here because of a tremendous amount of suffering that my habit energy introduced me to, and introduced the people around me to. And in in that part of my life, when I made the choice to get into a recovery program, abstinence would cause me to suffer. You know, Resisting the urges was a form of suffering that was totally worth it. The years that I was using whatever I was using, um, when I gave into those urges, that felt like I was avoiding suffering. Um, and one of my friends back in the day, who happened to be Buddhist, kind of gave me the, let me tell you something, kid speech one time. Says, you think you're having a good time, but it's actually a really bad time in disguise. And those words stuck with me, even though I ignored his advice for years. Uh, but it was a matter of which suffering I was choosing. There was this banquet of suffering there, and I was able to pick and choose. Wish I would have chosen wiser earlier in my life, but I'm really glad I'm choosing wiser now because the the work that it's taking to get here is the suffering is so minor and the rewards are so great. I'm just continue to be very, very grateful and feel blessed that I found this program and this song in particular. And with that, I'd like to invite everybody to join me in a little meditation. And we'll adjust my sound settings here for 1 second. If you'd like to join me, welcome. So go ahead and begin by settling into a comfortable position of your choice. If you choose to sit upright in a chair or on a cushion, find a place to do that. Or maybe you want to lay down on a couch or on the floor or on your bed. If you're in a place where you're going to be in movement, walking, that's okay. Driving, that's okay. If you're driving, please keep your eyes open. If not, and it feels safe, go ahead and close your eyes or lower your gaze and soften your focus. Take a slow, deep breath in through the nose and a long, steady breath out through your mouth. Do that again, breathing in, feeling the body fill with air. Your chest expands, your belly expands. And then breathe out, letting go of any obvious tension. Allow your breathing to be natural. Don't force it. There's nothing to control, nothing to fix. Simply notice your breath as it is. Take a moment to arrive here in this moment. Arrive in your body. Arrive in your life right here, just as it is right now. In our practice, we learned the first noble truth is that dukkha exists. And dukkha is often translated as suffering, but it also includes discomfort, unease, dissatisfaction, stress. And this truth, the first noble truth, is not meant to discourage us. It's just meant to ground us in honesty. As you sit here, bring to mind the simple understanding that discomfort is part of being human. Notice any sensations in your body that are mildly uncomfortable. Maybe pressure where you're sitting, tightness or soreness. Maybe you're feeling tired or restless. Without trying to change these, just silently name them and acknowledge that this is discomfort. Whatever name you give to your discomfort, let that naming be gentle and curious, not critical. Now, reflect on this distinction that there is suffering that comes simply from being alive. We all age, get sick, suffer loss and uncertainty. And then there is also suffering that arises from our choices. This elective suffering is the discomfort we take on through our actions our habits, our reactions, and avoidance. Let this reflection arise softly. Again, without blame, without being critical. Bring to mind a small, everyday choice, something ordinary and familiar, perhaps choosing to rush instead of pause, choosing to speak unwisely, or perhaps staying silent unwisely, choosing distractions instead of rest. Notice how even small choices have consequences in your body and your mind. Feel how a rushed choice may tighten the chest, or how avoidance may create a quiet, lingering tension. Think about what choices cause you discomfort, but simply notice them. You don't need to analyze, don't need to judge. Just observe as you sit in your breath. Now, shift your point of view slightly and reflect that not all chosen discomfort leads to suffering. Sometimes discomfort is the result of something skillful, choosing to sit with an uncomfortable emotion rather than trying to escape it, choosing honesty instead of ease, choosing patience instead of being reactive, choosing recovery, healing, or this practice, even when it's hard. Bring to mind a time when you chose something difficult but beneficial, a choice that required effort, restraint, or courage. Notice how that discomfort may have carried a slightly different quality, maybe perhaps felt steadier, more comfortable in that discomfort. Perhaps it was clearer, made the decision easier. Perhaps it allowed you to feel better about yourself, more self respect, or self care. Paying attention to your body now, where do you sense the difference between harmful discomfort and purposeful healing discomfort? Reflect on that. Listen to your body. Let it teach you for a moment without any words. As we all sit with our breath, paying attention again to your breath. With each inhalation, feel the beginning of a choice. And as you exhale, imagine the result of that choice. Notice how your mind leans towards certain habits, grasping or resisting, numbing or fixing. And gently ask yourself, without needing an answer, does this choice reduce my suffering or add to it? As we breathe, allow compassion to arise. We all make choices based on fear, conditioning, and unmet needs. We all choose discomfort at times because it is familiar. This is not a personal failure on our part, it's just part of being a human. Silently offer yourself these words. I am constantly learning. I'm allowed to change my mind or choose again. I can meet discomfort with wisdom. Feel how taking the responsibility for that, when you hold yourself with kindness, becomes empowering rather than feeling like a heavy burden. As we continue to breathe, rest in just the simple presence of this moment and notice that you are choosing to sit. You're choosing to breathe. You're choosing to be aware. This choice is one that gently reduces our suffering. Just letting the breath be easy, letting the body sit just as it is. As you sit in your breath, if your mind wanders, that's okay. Bring your focus back to your breath. Every time you do, it's another small, meaningful choice. As we come to the end of this meditation, bring one intention to mind, a small, realistic choice that you might make that leans toward clarity rather than avoidance, care rather than harm. You don't need to act on it now, simply acknowledge it. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. And when you're ready, let's all come back to the room. Namaste. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here tonight. I'd like to offer a dedication of merit to close this meeting out. Hope you want to sit upright, take a noble posture if that's something you'd like to do right now. May the understanding gained through this practice help us recognize the truth of suffering with honesty and compassion. May we learn to distinguish between the discomfort that binds us and the discomfort that frees us. May the merit of this reflection support wise choices, small and large, that lessen harm and cultivate peace for ourselves and for all beings. And may all beings be held in awareness, guided by wisdom, and supported on this path towards freedom from suffering. Namaste.